Now let us understand different data structures that is available in Python, the built-in data structures. So let me make some space. So here we are going to talk about data structures. So Python first of all have something called as a list, which is the most important data structure of Python. So what is the list? So lists are used to store multiple items in a single variable. If you remember earlier, we created a variable, for example, the variable x, but we assigned a single value in it. So only 5 was stored. Only a single zone was stored. Only a single value was stored in a single variable. But what if you have multiple things to store? Then you create the data structure. So for example, I'm creating the list. So to create a list, you need to start with this bracket, square bracket, and add different things to it. So first of all, I add apple. I will also add banana. If it was a normal variable, then I would only store apple in it. But now it is a data structure. We can store multiple things. And I'll also store cherry in it. So here you can see this is my list. So lists are used to store multiple items. So lists are one of the 4 built-in data types in Python used to store these collections of data. So there are other 3 also like tuple, set and dictionaries. So first of all we start with the list, but we are also going to talk about tuple, set and dictionary. So here you can see this is my list. Then you can also just take a simple item from the list. So if I do 0 here, then I'll get the apple. So this is at index 0, this is at index 1 and this is at index 2. So here I put the index 0, that means I get the first thing. If I put my list in 1, so my list is the variable name and 1 index is for the banana. So remember index starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2. So if I do my 1 here, then I get banana. Similarly, I can also do my list and 2 to get cherry, which is at index 2. Similarly, I can also do something like this, my list and -1. So negative index means, so if you go from here, from that is left to right, then index starts from 0, 1 and 2. But if you go backward, then you can also start from the -1. So cherry is at -1, banana is at -2 and -3 and so on. So I can get cherry. So this way you can just take out the item from the list. Next, to check the length of the list, you can do len of my list. There are so many functions that you can check. So len basically means length. So how many items are there inside this list? So there are 3 items inside this list. Finally, you can check the type of the thing that you have created, which is obviously list. So this is our first data structure, which is list. Next is tuple. So next you need to know about is tuple. So I'll just create a my tuple. Now to create a tuple, you need to have this parenthesis. So earlier to create a list, we use this square bracket. Now change the bracket from square to this parenthesis and you have a tuple now. Apple, banana and cherry, the same item that I have added in the list, I'll do it for the tuple. Now check what we have created here. So what is the type of the tuple? Is obviously tuple. So tuple is also used to store multiple items inside the single variable, and tuples are created by this round bracket you can see here. We can call it as parenthesis. So remember, whenever we talk about list, so list is ordered and changeable. So remember, whenever we talk about list, they are changeable. You can change the value of the list. But tuple is not changeable. So that is the difference between list and tuple. So the item inside the tuple cannot be changed. You can index them obviously, same as what we did in the list. I can do 0, then I got apple, my tuple 1, you might have guessed I will get banana, my tuple 2, I'll get cherry. So index starts from 0. So count it as item at 0, item at 1, and item at 2. Now what if I do something like this? My tuple 2, and I change it from cherry. So you can see tuple has the index 2 is cherry. So I'll change from cherry to, let us say, pineapple. Then you can see this is not valid. So in tuple, items are not changeable, but you can do this in the list. So if I do my list and change it to pineapple, then this is valid. Then you can check my list. Now earlier it was apple, banana and cherry. Now it changed to pineapple, which was a list. So this list we talked about earlier. This list. So lists are changeable, but tuple are not changeable. So based on this situation, you can either use one of them. If you want your item to be changed, then obviously use list. If you don't want your items to be changed, then use tuple. You can also do len and tuple to check the length of the tuple. And there are so many methods like append method, extract method, and so on. You can just learn about them in detail if you want. So just go to online and search for these methods, but these are the basics that I'm covering here. So these are the things that you need to know going further in this course. Next, and the final thing that you need to know is dictionary. I talked earlier about that there is something called as a set also, but set are not that important. So these three are the basics ones. So first list and tuple and this dictionary. So now go to dictionary. So dictionary is one of the most important thing. That is the data structure that we have in Python, and dictionary is widely used. So dictionaries are used to store data values in key value pairs. So let us make our dictionary. I'll say my dictionary and give the bracket, and here you need to have the key, what is the brand, let us say Ford is a brand, and what is the year that this Ford was made. It was made in, let us say, 1964. Now you can see what is the type of data that we have stored here. That is key value pair. So key colon value. So if I have this type of data like that is structured in key and value pair, then you use dictionary. So in what year it was born? So year is a key and the value is the value that is stored here. So you can remember it as something like the value that you stored in the variables. Now the variable is in the form of key value pair. Now if I hit enter, then our dictionary is made. Now I'll just say what is the type of my dict, which is dictionary obviously. I can also get the item from here using key now. So earlier we talked about indexing. When we talked about this tuple, we use the value like 0, 1 and 2, which is the indexes, to take the element out of it. Now we use the key. So my dict, and what is the brand? Brand is a Ford. So to get the value, we get it from the keys in the dictionary. Similarly, I'll just check what is the year that is stored in this dictionary. Then the year is 1964. I can also get items in this way. You can see I converted our dictionary into the tuple of items, or list of tuples, list of items. So this way also you can extract the value. Similarly, I can also get only keys. So keys as brand and year are the keys. Similarly, I can also get values. Ford is the value and 1964 is a value. So key colon value, key colon value. So this way you can take the data out of it. You can also check the length of our dictionary by doing len function. There are so many functions that you can search online. to check what are the available functions, but now these are the basic thing that you need to know. The basic data structures like list, tuple and dictionary.